What's up, everybody? What's up, MGTOW? So in this video, I'd like to talk about the burden of proof. Now, this is a topic that I think that my kind of crossover audience of conspiracy theory type people and MGTOW can kind of both understand, because it's something that happens to both types of crowds, I guess you can call it. It's just that it's not so much that the burden of proof is there, because I'm fine with giving proof to claims that I make, but it seems that when a claim is labeled as MGTOW or even manosphere in general, or if a claim is labeled as conspiracy theory, then the burden of proof goes through the roof. It goes straight sky high, and there's basically no amount of evidence that you can present that will prove the claim. Like, we can give a couple quick examples, like the wage gap, for instance. Now, the wage gap has been statistically proven to be false, and it's more of an income gap or an earnings gap that just says that certain groups of people choose certain types of jobs and therefore they earn less money. But to feminists, that's not evidence, that's not proof. Just saying the wage gap is proof that the wage gap exists, yet presenting statistical evidence showing that the wage gap does not exist is not proof. And yes, it's very frustrating when you have evidence of something and no amount of displaying the evidence or discussing the evidence in any way can ever sway the person from their viewpoint. Now, it's just interesting because if you look at the judicial system in the United States, which is considered one of the fairest judicial systems in the world, I'm not sure if it is or isn't, but it's considered that. You can see that some of the claims that people make in the manosphere and in conspiracy theories actually have more evidence than it would be required to put someone in jail for life or even sentence someone to the death penalty in a United States court. People won't even accept evidence straight from the person. Like, for example, Trump saying he's not racist. Trump can go on every news network and say he's not racist. He can hire black people. He can loan money out to black people. He can kiss black babies. But if you say Trump is racist, then Trump is racist. And it doesn't matter if, Trump's family members are married to people of different races, or if Trump hires people from different races and loans money out to people from different races, he's still racist because someone said he's racist, and no amount of evidence, including Trump himself saying that he's not racist, is enough to convince people that he's not racist. Now, the kind of second question that this brings up is just how much evidence at least warrants an investigation. Because most of the time when people dismiss claims, especially claims from conspiracy theorists, and they label it as Alex Jones-ish without doing any type of investigation, one has to ask how much evidence warrants an investigation. It's kind of you're a police officer and someone comes to you and says, hey, I'd like to report a murder. I've got this bloody knife here, a dead person. There's fingerprints and footprints all over the place. And there's a murder note saying that I killed this person because I don't like them. And you're a cop and someone brings all this evidence to you and video evidence of the person murdering the person. And you're like, that's kind of some Alex Jones-ish. I don't really want to investigate it. See what I'm saying? It's like, at what point does it at least warrant an investigation? I'm not saying it needs to be a conviction. I'm not saying that you need to accept the claims, but just as I guess it's a question that you have to ask yourself, at what point do the claims and all of the mounting evidence pointing to a certain fact or a certain type of idea, how much evidence is required for you to actually investigate these claims thoroughly and not just kind of look at the first article debunking, quote unquote, debunking the claims and then saying, oh, it's some Alex Jones-ish. Because you can see it's very similar to when, someone in MGTOW is trying to present the idea of the wage gap not being true and someone saying, well, you're just a misogynist. It's basically the same thing. And it's like asking them, well, at what point will you actually look at some of this evidence yourself instead of just saying, oh, you're a misogynist, and actually read the statistics and look at all the studies and see for yourself if the wage gap really exists or not. So really, yeah, I mean, that's all I just wanted to touch on this topic of just, the fact that the burden of evidence just shoots up so high if something is labeled MGTOW or manosphere or conspiracy theory. And second of all, is just at what point does a claim warrant investigation? How much evidence do you need before you're actually going to look into the claim yourself and see if it's true or not? So that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Have a good day and go MGTOW.